Hello, this is Lolly, and I have had a request to share how I make my Traveler's Notebooks covers out of fabric. So what you need is some notebooks, and you determine the size of your cover by the notebooks you choose. I'm going to use these. You'll need fabric for the cover and fabric for the inside. You can see this one I just used some scrap white that I had on hand. You will need elastic and hopefully a way to punch holes and set eyelets. And then here's what I'm using is this Pellon double-sided fusible ultra firm stabilizer. It says Paltech 72F. It is very thick. If you don't have this where you are, you can use other fusible fabric stabilizers and maybe use a couple of them, a couple layers to give yourself some thickness there. It just adds some thickness. This is really, really strong. So what I did was, you will see that this notebook is 8 1/4 by 4.3, and other people will round that off to 4 1/4. So I just figure I want my cover a little bit bigger, so I'm figuring 8 3/4, and then I'm going to wrap it around here and figure 9 3/4 to 10 inches would be good. That would hang off right there. It would give me room to put a couple notebooks in there. So what I did was then, once I had that measurement, I cut a piece of this slightly larger than my notebook cover is going to be. And then I had to cut my inside fabric and my cover fabric slightly larger than that. And the reason is you don't want this stabilizer sticking out from your fabric when you iron, or it's going to iron to your iron and goop it up. So you see what I'm doing here? You could see the fabric all the way around. Oops. All the way around this Pellon stabilizer, and that is to keep my iron safe. So what I'm going to do is put that there, and then I'm going to line this up. Let me read the instructions on the Pellon. It says to baste it by putting your iron on the wool setting, and then it says baste it by using a hot iron with a gliding motion and light pressure, just kind of like this, just to make sure it's stuck. And then once you do that, you're going to put a damp cloth on there, slightly damp, and then on a wool setting, you're going to put 10 seconds per area, slightly overlapping, like that all the way around. So I'm going to iron that and come back. Okay, now I'm back, and I have put my fabric cutting mat on there, and I have this, which is an edge ruler, which means it's got a lip right here, and I can secure it onto the edge of my cutting mat, making sure that I'm cutting at right angles. So now that this is fused, you can see I have 3 layers here. I want to trim off the excess and make sure it's the size that I want. So the first thing I'm going to do is to get myself a relatively straight edge right here. Now I have one nice straight edge, and I can use that if I slide over to the left. I'm trying to get on camera here. There we go. And I can use that to measure the length that I want. So I said, let's see. Oh, it goes the other way. Okay. Let me flip this around since I'm measuring a certain way here. I like measuring right to left for some reason on this mat. Okay, and that's my straight edge. And I said about 10, but if I give myself a little extra like 10 1/4, that's absolutely fine. And then you can always go back and take some off, but you can't add on. There we go. And now all I need to do, and by the way, you can use these for bookmarks. So just a heads up. Now I want to get a straight edge on the right. So what I like to do now is many times I like to just press around the edges again just to make sure I've really got a good seal there. And I think I'm going to round these corners with this. Let's see. I think I'll do it with the 1/4 inch. And then I'll go iron that, and then once I do that, I'm going to stitch, just kind of top stitch all the way around here. Okay, so that is done, and you could see the top stitching right there. You probably see a little more easily on the back side here. Okay, now I want to put holes in here. I want to put two at the top, two at the bottom, and one in the center. The center one is going to be for the elastic that gets wrapped around it, and the two at the top and bottom are going to hold these notebooks on the inside. So I'm going to turn it on the wrong side, and what you can do is cut a piece of paper roughly the size of your finished product. Now you see mine's wide enough, but it's long enough, but it's not quite wide enough, so I can center it. Or what I can do, first of all, let me go ahead and fold this in half to get myself, that gives me the middle. Okay, so what I can do is line it all the way up against the top or the bottom, and that will be the way I mark the bottom. And then I'll just flip it around and use that for the top. So if I want to get two holes here, I know that I want to put one on either side of the center, and I'm going to mark this center so that you can see it better on video. I'm using a pink pen. So that's the center. Now you can see that. Let me get this off of here for a minute. The other thing I want to do is find the exact center of this, because that's going to be right here, is going to be where I'm going to punch the hole for that one elastic. Then assuming this is going to be the bottom, I'm just marking this because this is not wide enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark here and then turn that around and mark here again for those holes. But I want to get these evenly spaced as much as possible. So I'm going to turn this around and think. Now all I have to do is figure how far apart I want these from the center. Now I need to punch these out. And this is the main reason that I bought this Crocodile Big Bite, was so that I could reach far enough into a project to get a hole. There are other means. There are some spring-loaded hole punchers that you just put it wherever you want it and pull it up and let go, and it drills a hole that way. There's a handheld one that you can also work as well. So I have this. See, I'm going to set this at 1/8 inch because I want the smaller holes. There you go. There. In order to get this center, I know that I need to center this left and right on here, or should I say top and bottom, as well as I can. That's just to mark this hole right here, and I'm doing it on the wrong side of the fabric. And then to get these bottom holes here, I'm going to line this up with the bottom of my cover. And if you have a Crocodile Big Bunch Big Bunch, listen to me. Big Bite, not Big Bunch. If you have one and you can't figure out how to use it, I will give you a link down below on my tutorial on how to use it. And included with that is the file on the instructions, so that you can download the instructions for yourself. Now and then I do get comments that the link isn't working. It does work. It depends on what you're opening it in, and I have more problems with people with iPad users than anything. So if there's a problem, you still can't download it, and comment on my video. I will give you my email address, and you can email me, and I will email you the file on how to use this. Okay, now holes. Yes, I almost put this away. We've got to get the holes in here. Now, many people have asked me where I get my eyelets from, and frankly, I've gotten them from so many places I can't even remember. Mostly thrift stores and from, oh goodness, and I think even Cartwrights used to sell them. I don't know if they still do, but I've also gotten many at like clearance centers. I think I'm going to go with this gray color here. Okay, so this is set because I need, let's flip this back up here. This is set at C, I think it's C3. C3 for doing the small eyelets. And I'm going to come at this from the pretty side right here. Now this cracks me up. It just gave eyeballs to this little guy. The last thing we need to do is string the elastics in there. I decided to look through my box of charms as well, because now's a good time. If you know you're going to put some charms in there, now's a good time to plan that. Oh, this is cute. I like this one here, Play. I think it really looks well with the little critters on here. Okay, so I had a hard time finding elastic, so I finally went on eBay and ordered 2mm elastic, because that was the thickness I wanted. What they had at Michael's and Hobby Lobby wasn't strong enough. And here's something I like to do as well. I start and I push it through to the front, and then I put a ring on it. Now, this is not one of those O-rings that just meets. It's one of those ones that kind of spirals, and that way they don't come undone. And I like to thread that through for the top of the book. And the reason is it's so much easier to hang a charm from the ring than it is just from the elastic. So can you see that little ring right there? Oops. If you know that you're not going to ever hang charms on there, then you really don't need to do that. I tend to like charms there more than I do hanging on the front of the book, just because it gets in my way sometimes having them hang on the front of the book. Okay. And I don't just do it until they meet and tie a knot. I actually pull them a little bit to make it bow just a little bit. And the other thing is to get the elastic in the center. So this, I think I will measure. I know it's going to go on the inside. It's going to come out and wrap around and then go back through the inside and get knotted. So somewhere around there. Now, I have noticed that this is a little harder to get 2 of these layers through the little eyelet there. So what you can do is put a piece of thread here, feed this through the thread, and pull the thread out, thereby pulling the elastic through with it. However, if you want to put a charm on, now is the time. You know, it just makes it a little easier to do that now. I'm not sure that this is big enough. Yeah, so that could be like right there. So let's see if we can get this. See, I can get the first one through, but then the second one usually ends up being a little tough. So I tend to pull the elastic down out of my way, really snug, and see if I can get that in there. And if not, sometimes just cutting this at an angle will help with sharp scissors. Okay, let's see if that works. If not, I'll have to do my thread technique. Okay, pull that down really tight. I think it might need a little bit more snugness, but we don't have any notebooks in there yet, so let me try again. I'm gonna put the scissors through there, so I make sure I don't pull this through all the way. There we go. Okay. Let's put these notebooks in there, and you will see this come together. Now you can always make your own notebooks. And I'll do a video on those too eventually. I have a new traveler's notebook, and I want to do a series on putting that one together, and it is going to be a fairy traveler's notebook. I love this paper. So find the center and thread that through, one elastic like that, and find the center and put that through this center. And if you don't like that elastic here, just play with it and get it to the knot to slide down further down on the project. So that's two notebooks in this traveler's notebook. See, now if you would like to have, let's say 2 notebooks on this one elastic, here's what you do. You make another band. Okay, we make a band and we just put it around one, and then put this one, here we go, finding the back, I get the center. Let's look at the bottom here. and put this one through the same elastic. Can you see what that looks like? There's the elastic. And then all we have to do is keep both these journals closed and put them through like this so that it's the elastic that's actually grabbing that elastic. So now I have 3 journals in here. And I could take this one out and put 2 in that one elastic either. But anyway, that's how you get that in there. Okay, that's that. Fabric, very cute. I love this fabric. And, oops, yeah, I love this charm too. This is something to keep in mind because it says play on both sides. Many times when you get a charm on these, it's one-sided. And so when you go and you string it up and you realize it's backwards now. So it just takes a little fiddling. And we also have this up here to hang another charm if we're interested. And I see these ones have little lobster claws on it. So we could just go ahead and hang one there right there. And that says smile. Leave me your comments below and let me know what you think. And if you have any questions, let me know that as well. Oh, just so gorgeous. And I will continue making more videos in this series. And thank you so much for watching, for subscribing, and giving me a thumbs up.